Effluent, an unused byproduct, waste, or residue. Brownish sudsy discharge heading down to the next drinking water plant. Hatred spewing unchecked from the poor upon seeing the prosperity all around. Ignorance vented as noise, smoke, and litter by the loudly proud working class. Used oil and dirty grease washed off overcrowded roads and into nearby streams. Vitriol escaping from the dyspeptic ruling theocrats in righteous bio-green streams. Deceptions, omissions, and outright lies leaching from abandoned advertising materials. Embrace of diesel fumes from an apartment cowboy warming up a shiny pickup. Endless stream of used prisoners leaking from the filthy underside of society. The constant feeling that so many unchangeable things have gone so very wrong. Fertilizers and pesticides invisibly spreading from land to mother's milk. Lies and money escaping from under flimsy, leaking plastic cover-ups. Deodorant, hairspray, skin cream, and toothpaste changing the fish in the streams. The overwhelming malodorous effluvia from the simple existence of too many people. Murky discontent which brews desperate acts of perverted terrorism. Hope spiraling with the smoke from burning trees that always gave us shelter. Noxious brown cloud which we exude above our cities in our scuttling to and fro. Human wreckage in filthy rags intoxicated and begging on gray and dirty corners. Useless and obscene eruptions blurted out in hopeless and unheard tirades. Commerce in the form of mercury and lead oozing into a quiet baby's room. Hypocrisy and lies flowing unfiltered into the open minds of helpless children. Fairly brilliant men and women with their entire belongings in old shopping carts. Religious dogma bubbling off from boiling insecurity, ignorance, and fear. Dirty slime left behind by the righteous tenants who still owed their rent. The artificial aura of hurry and importance created by commercials on our televisions. Litter hotspots blooming robustly around each welcome new big box retail store. Environmental degradation spreading out behind the black contrail of our consumption. Cheap homes and tacky strip malls a lasting tribute to our powerfully vapid greed. Tons of CO2 emitted idlings SUVs to stay cool while sipping good hot coffee. Mistrust, hatred, and war, a normal byproduct of the love for one's true God. Squishy sound of rubber boots echoing in the residues of corporate slaughterhouses. The failing education a godsend for political and advertising sloganeers. Millions of pounds of greasy, fast food fat hauled about by the wheezingly obese. Mass self-loathing induced by artificially perfect and unattainable marketing stereotypes. Useless and infantile noise emitted purposely via costly exhaust modifications. Imaginary souls wafting gracefully to a soul scam heaven upon the demise of their frail shells. Involuntary suspension of all belief resulting from chronic propaganda exposures. Twist of the pursuit of happiness into a God-granted license to get rich by any means. Decay of virtue into the worship of all-consuming greed and hyper-consumption. Permanent mental degradation resulting from years of mindless channel flipping. Acid rain dulling our prized autos as they emerge from their safe garages. Stain of the hypocrisy left by militarily spreading freedom only where it suits our needs. Destruction of the desert soil microbe community by gas-powered recreation. Mute hatred and aggression inflicted upon your fine new car by unseen vandals. Myriad invisible toxic substances soaking your children in parts per million. Tuberculosis returning stronger because we don't bother to finish our prescriptions. 1,000 foolish, expensive commercials filling the air at every instant. An outpouring of nonsensical and co-opted faith from the ignorant, childish, and insecure. Palpable hatred flowing outward from many sources in all directions. Broken lives and shattered dreams crunching underfoot amid layers of litter. Multi-generational illegitimate mothers bearing children raised in their own chaotic images. Anger bubbling over from lack of control over things we do not wish to understand. Poisonous smell of cooking meth stimulating a wild desire for large doses. Overdosed pesticides and fertilizers running off with the wasted water we sprinkled on 2 green lawns. Self-worth oozing from the critical wound caused by casual overseas outsourcing. Potential escaping into the atmosphere from families without fathers. Rational, educated thought decaying into a blind faith in concocted religious scams. Anger, frustration, and disappointment vented upon frightened children. Invisible fumes from smarmy, self-evident truths inhaled 24/7 without a whimper. Earth's infected scabs from our so-called progress, visible even from outer space. Savings absorbed by credit cards, second mortgages, gambling, and vacations. Disquieting silence spreading when we shut up as our toys lose their power. Unceasing toxic rants of political sloganeering pressurizing our homes. Dangerous ideas given off by the decomposition of polite society. The aura of unreality which surrounds us throughout our frantic dancing.